Previously on Survivor, Drew had won 3 reward challenges. But when it came to the vital immunity challenge, she was way off target. Drew. And she became the 7th survivor to be voted off at Tribal Council. Tonight, 5 surprise visitors lead to 5 emotional survivors. It's the 27th day here in the islands of Bocas del Toro on the northwest coast of Panama, and Survivor is hotting up. First there's the weather, the temperatures have soared into the 90s and beyond, and then there's the game, which is ever nearer. It's amazing jackpot. What's more, there's still a chance to break the alliance within Columbus Tribe, but it takes Dave of the old North Island to do something about it. Dave must convince Susanna and Bridget that their future lies with him, not with the dominant duo of John and Johnny, and he must do so mighty quick. Dave is up early and first down for a wash, giving him time alone to plan his strategy for staying in the game.
Bit saddened that I'm the last member now, but I was expecting it. I tried to split John and Johnny up, but they've got a alliance between them, so I'd have to think about talking to the girls, I think, and forming an alliance there. So that'd be another way of thinking, but I'll try my best, but we'll see where it goes.
Well, I think Dave is pretty much keen on trying to win immunity and stay for as long as he can. I mean, the game has started already, but individual battles are going to become more apparent in the next few days. There have been kind of like discussions about who to vote off next. Even though it was going to be Dave all the way, I think kind of tensions are slightly mounting even within the previous South tribe.
Dave's such a nice guy. He's played this with incredible spirit, and personality-wise, I'd much rather have him than Bridget any day of the week, twice on a Sunday.
Dave?
Hi, Bridget.
Where's the others?
On the creek.
Are they?
Yeah.
Bridget seems to be getting more and more confident all the time, which is great for her, but she doesn't wear it with the most amount of discretion, perhaps.
Right.
And I think she can wind everybody up a little bit. Tensions are starting to show and cracks are starting to show where previously they hadn't.
I think Suzanne just wants to beat Bridget. Seems to be the now.
Yeah.
I think they've got a wee female thing going against each other.
Last 2 females.
Now, yeah. And Bridget's been getting quite cocky and a wee bit more arrogant as time goes on. So quite interesting. Might start a cat fight.
Down at the creek, Johnny and Dave have discovered a visitor. It's a caiman, which is a source of food for the locals, but the boys take it to be a small alligator.
So I'll go and get the axe. See Crocodile Dundee when it comes up and grabs him. Oh, that's deep, that. It goes down forever.
Come back.
Yeah, come back and put between us.
An alligator down at the first creek there.
Oh, what?
Alligator.
Really?
In that big creek.
How big?
We don't know, we'll just see his tail.
His tail's about that length.
There must be a hole or
Can we
something in
eat
the
them?
grass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
apparently
if we
they're
can
good.
catch it, we can cook it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll catch it, if it's there.
We'll go tooled up next time.
Axe, machete.
Baseball bat, balaclava, a bit of lead piping.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone to El Limbo on this quite magnificent day. If you're keen to win the reward, you're going to have to hold your hands up. Above you, you'll see 5 barrels of water. You need to attach your wrists to the rope hanging from beneath the barrels and then you hold your hands for as long as you possibly can until the water drops upon you. The winner is the last person to take a shower. Good luck.
Nightmare of getting itchy nose, isn't it?
Yeah. What's your favourite sad song, John?
Sad song?
Last night I dreamt of Somebody Loved Me by the Smiths. Ultimate self-indulgence.
When you've just been binned by your girlfriend, you can't beat Michael Bolton, How Will I Live Without You?
And the girlfriend is dumped you, I think. What did you just slap my bitch up as well?
The survivors begin an intense passage of concentration. The first to admit defeat after just over 20 minutes is Bridget.
I'm probably going to have to come off in a minute. I'm going to have to do this because I'm about to faint.
Tell them nothing. Name, rank and number, you know the drill.
Is that nice, that shower?
15 minutes after Bridget, Susanna goes too.
That's me, I'm not having fun here with the throat and everything.
Wet t-shirt competition.
An hour after the challenge began, one of our medical team moves in to check on the three who refuse to give up. Coming up, after the conclusion of this tough reward challenge, the survivors are pushed to the limits of their emotions.
What a grim one this is.
It's now around 90 minutes since the reward challenge began, but Dave, Johnny and John show no desire to give way.
Dave, hang in there, mate, yeah?
You okay? Yeah.
Dave, best Newcastle footballer of all time.
Huh?
Who's the best Newcastle footballer of all time?
Panico.
Yeah?
This is tough.
What are you doing? Yeah,
After almost 2 hours, our medic is concerned about Dave, so goes in again, this time forcing him to quit the challenge.
What say no to me? Okay, you've got to come. Come on. Get your hands out. Come on.
Come on, Dave.
It's okay, Dave. Just dehydrated.
Yeah.
You look fucked, mate. Can't come off as soon as I go. Okay. Hang in there. You're going a bit pale, that's it. You're just going a bit pale suddenly, that's it.
Very good. Well done, mate.
Relieved at Dave's recovery, Johnny finally gives in and hands victory to John.
It's me, I think.
Yeah?
It's me, I think.
Sure. Well done. Sit down, Johnny, straight away.
While Johnny is checked over by another medic,
Well done, Johnny.
John finally drops his arms to claim victory. By heaven, we're not short of drama at these challenges. Dave, first things first, how are you?
Champion, thank you very much.
How can you be champion? You feel great.
I feel great now, yes.
And John, champ again. Have a listen to this for a reward. You begin with your own bed. It has a mattress. It has sheets. It has a pillow. You go to bed tonight with cocoa and cookies.
Who are they?
You wake up tomorrow morning to a full cooked breakfast, served to you in bed.
That is nice.
Gorgeous, well done.
Many congratulations again for your stamina, and we'll see you all tomorrow for immunity.
Well done.
Good to see the two heat stroke victims are taking the doctor's advice by lying out naked in the sun.
For just a challenge, I thought it was quite hard actually. So I was so determined to try and beat the Blue Brothers there that I must have passed out. You know, with the heat. The heat was horrendous. I'll get some stick when I get home off the wife. You're going to swim on tomorrow, is it?
Apparently the one tomorrow is we're getting flown to Burma. We've got to build a railway between Burma and Siam. And then we get buried in the sand up there next.
Just get shot.
Any better?
He's loving every minute of it.
Have you got wood?
No. No.
I hate that when you go and have a massage done, like a proper one, you know, as opposed to...
This is a frequent occurrence.
And they go, okay, just pop over on your back. And you're like, no, I'm alright. I'm alright here. When I first graduated, I worked in Brighton as a physio, like a junior physio in this private practice. It was on the seafront. Because you're private, people can just come in and say, you know, self-refer, so they don't need a GP's referral. They can walk off the street, pay the 35 quid or whatever, and then you get half an hour. And in Brighton on the seafront near Kempton, you used to get, you know, blokes come in and go, just a bit tighter on the shoulder. And he's like, I am a prostitute.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the camp, our carpenters have arrived to build John's bed for the night.
John, I hope it's not a windy night.
I'm glad I'm not leaving the island. If you go away for the whole day, you feel slightly alienated when you come back, and you feel a bit odd because you've missed out and stuff. So I'm glad I'm not really going very far. The bed better be waterproof and have a mozzie net. If it doesn't, I'll be banging on the shelter door tonight. It's nice as a bonus, and the food tomorrow morning will be a big thing.
Remember John was saying that would be the prize he'd take somebody else to win? Sit there and eat breakfast in front of him.
I just hope the wind is blowing in that direction if he's over there, or the other direction. I can guarantee the smell of frying bacon.
No, I release the smell. It's good.
You reckon?
Yeah.
These are nice.
Yeah, well, they're food anyway, aren't they? They're not the friendliest little things in the world, are they?
No.
They're prickly things that grow on prickly trees. Once you've opened them, which is proving to be a little more difficult than we first thought, and you boil them for 20 minutes, they're supposed to be edible. So we shall see.
Check out John's erection.
That looks nice. Yeah, that's all right, mate, as they say. Absolutely.
You got a good buzz in it as well.
John, can I have your bit of foam?
Yeah, smells very nice as well. Smell of sheep.
Does it?
Yeah. Not for long though.
He does as well, doesn't
Get a wee sniff.
Have a sniff there, mate. And then compared to what it's like in the morning.
he?
As dusk falls, it's time to taste the palm nuts that Susanna was preparing. They've been boiling for over half an hour.
Are they tender?
They're as hard as hard.
Pass one here.
A bad joke.
There's about 1% of taste there.
It's a little bit.
It's like a nut. It's like coconut without the taste.
Is it?
Forget it. I
We're
would
supposed
not
to-
bother.
When are we supposed to mush it up? Huh?
Like, sling
I
it.
don't know how to
Taste a
mush
bit?
it up.
Yeah. We tried.
John's not too disappointed the tribe's meal tonight was inedible. For the next part of his reward has arrived, the cookies and the cocoa as promised earlier.
Sorry to do this, but I can't think of anywhere else to do
One on welcome. Real chocolate. Real.
it. Panama chocolate.
Yeah.
Right, mate. I can't put it off the inevitable any longer.
No, just get it on your neck. Good.
Yeah. Feels really odd having that sort of sweet biscuity taste, you know, having that for ages. Bit disappointed that cookies and cocoa weren't actually two girls though.
No, I think if I had a choice, I'd just rather have them than see my girlfriend when I go back home.
I feel really bad stuffing this into my mouth.
But you finished them.
Got one left.
No, you deserve it. Definitely.
I think I've got to say on camera that I'm not allowed to share it with anyone either. Otherwise people are going, can't believe that little shit wouldn't give him it. He sat with his best mate and had 10 biscuits in a row. Oh, that's not bad at all. That is not at all bad.
Coming up, breakfast for John, and 5 surprise visitors arrive for the most emotional challenge so far. The sound of bacon frying should be a good start to everyone's 28th day on the islands. The trouble is, it's breakfast for one, and that's John.
What is just so nice is that the smell isn't coming this way.
I know, but they'll find a way.
But John's going to eat it all, then regurgitate it, and we're all going to have tons of eating.
Yeah.
It's sick.
That's been the biggest craving since I've been here. A nice fried breakfast.
You're a good man. Thank you very much. Just what the doctor ordered.
It wasn't too bad actually, because I'm not really a fried breakfast person, so Dave found it difficult. That's the thing he's been dreaming of. So he found it quite difficult. Ah, good on him. He deserved it. It was a hard challenge yesterday, so it's at least he deserved.
The coffee was the nicest thing actually this morning. I really miss coffee. That's just, you know, just the flavour and the stimulus and stuff. And eating in the morning just makes so much difference. I feel 1,000% better than I have the last 48 hours in the morning.
Did you have coffee as well, John?
Yeah, it was lovely.
Everyone else starts the day with coconut. Again.
Tree meal.
Diarrhea first, then treat me on it, yeah.
Good order.
I didn't sleep a wink last night at all because I drank about 2 litres of sugar and then I just had the sugar rush all night, so I didn't sleep at all. And the food goes right through really quickly because you eat such a bland diet, so when you eat sugary or very spicy stuff, like on the last reward I had the same problem, it just goes right through you very quickly. But it was nice, pleasant all the same. The breakfast was lovely, good way to start the day when there's a challenge and stuff.
Today's tree mail is the most puzzling so far.
This might not be too hard to guess, this one.
5 fingerprints, 5 of us.
I think this is one for the detective comes from all south.
It's not as cryptic as it normally is.
You know?
Today, Columbus Tribe, you are going to be dumbfounded. You haven't got a clue what's in front of you.
Yeah, it's 5 fingerprints.
Jesus Christ.
Dave has worked at least one thing out, though.
Yes.
Today is Valentine's Day.
Newcastle played Southampton on the 9th. That must be a Saturday. So Saturday the Thursday, it's the 14th today. Hopefully. And my son's birthday. So happy birthday, Stephen.
It's your son's birthday today?
Valentine's Day. Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day, anyway.
Thank you, Dave.
Well, let's toast our beloveds.
Yeah.
The realisation that it's Valentine's Day causes everyone to remember the people that they love at home.
In order of priority, Dave, kids, Rita, Newcastle United.
Oh, the family.
I miss my family most. I miss the farm. I never thought I'd say that.
We know that we're going to see our family when we get back anyway, so...
And that time's getting shorter now.
And that time's getting shorter, and everybody is thinking about that more, I think. All the time, thinking about Barney more.
Thoughts of those close to them lead the tribe to wondering how the world might have changed in the month that they've been away.
Could be some exciting news.
I wonder if they've got the bin liner.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, if another September 11th happened, they couldn't really tell us, could they? I mean, it could be as dramatic as that, and you wouldn't know. You can't just say that in front of Bridget, can you? You have to explain what happened on September the 11th, I've noticed. I can't believe she still hasn't seen it.
Was that in Farringdon?
Never.
No.
She hasn't seen it.
Never.
She
Hasn't seen any footage of it.
She's not interested. As long as it doesn't affect her,
She's never seen any footage.
As long as it doesn't affect her, she's not interested in what happens in the
Over
world.
the papers?
She's seen photographs of it.
Yeah, still progressive, it's still
Because her dad gets the paper.
While the tribe talk about home and the people that they've left behind, a small plane lands at Bocas del Toro Airport. On board are 5 passengers who have had no contact with their loved ones since they left Britain for Panama a month ago. They are Bridget's boyfriend, John, Dave's son, Robert, Susanna's husband, Barnaby, John's girlfriend, Mary, and Johnny's girlfriend, Ruth. After a short briefing, they're taken to Lost Island, where they'll play a vital part in today's immunity challenge. Welcome back to Lost Island, everybody, and to today's immunity challenge, which is called Family Values. Not unnaturally, you've talked about home a great deal around the camp, and there are specific people that you miss. Well, what you remember of those conversations could well be crucial to you winning immunity today, because you're going to see some of those special people in your lives. This is how the challenge works. There are 5 paths. At the end of each of those paths, you're going to find the people that I'm talking about. Each of them are going to have photographs, and you are to record on the photographs 4 bits of information. Firstly, work out who you think that person is. Secondly, how old you think that person is. Thirdly, to which of your tribe you think the person is attached. And fourthly, what the relationship may be. That's 4 bits of information, 5 people, 20 available points. You cannot have any conversation with them, and you cannot have any physical contact with them. And if that instruction is broken, you will be disqualified. Should any of you come back with the same amount of points, it will then be a question of who got back here first. And I have to add that with the amulet comes an extra half an hour with that special person in your life. So, there's an immense amount to think about there.
What a grim one this is.
Are you ready? Go! Susanna is first to see a familiar face, her husband, Barnaby. A smiling Johnny appears delighted to see girlfriend Ruth. And Bridget is keen to demonstrate to boyfriend John her new slimline figure. John is amused by girlfriend Mary's photograph and apparently proud of his beard. And much to his son Robert's bemusement, an emotional Dave can't even bear to look him in the eye. Once the tribe have all returned their answers, the reality of the challenge hits home. Only one of them can win immunity and the half hour with their loved one. The rest will be going straight back to camp. The visitors are taken back to their boat to await the result. Was it every bit as bad as you thought it might be, Dave?
Yes, it really was. Quite emotional, especially when I was running up and I could see my son.
And had you worked out that it might be one of the boys or someone else?
No, I didn't know. I thought it would be the wife. Sorry.
Right.
Bridget, you were dreading the moment.
Yes, I was. But it was just absolutely wonderful to see John.
And even you, John. The little toughie.
Oh no. Yeah.
How do you feel, Johnny?
Brilliant, really good just seeing him thus far. I wish I'd stayed an extra 30 seconds, but really good seeing him. Really good.
Susanna?
I think it's just fantastic that they can share this experience and that they know the place where we are, and brilliant.
All right, well, you need to know what happened in the challenge. Bridget, 10 points. Susanna and Dave, 12 points. And then you two at it again. But in fact, after a count and a recount, John, you had 17 points. And Johnny, you won the amulet with 18 points.
Yes!
Thank you. Firstly, the amulet. That's the initial bit of good news. Stay right where you are. Can the boat hear me? Johnny has won immunity. Magic. Brilliant.
Excellent.
Thank you. Well done.
Well done, Johnny. Sorry.
No, don't be silly.
Sorry, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry.
Well done.
Sorry for second.
Rob! How's the tune?
What?
Where were you in the league?
Third.
Get in! What's the score, Sada?
3-1. Hey, you predicted.
Get in, buddy lad!
Come on.
How's Mum?
All right.
Good lad. See you, Robbie. Ta-ra, son.
Where are we in the league? What was the score Saturday? Oh, it's my wife. In that order.
I know, I look
As the other four are taken back to Bocchus, Johnny meets up with Ruth, and this time they're allowed to talk.
All right, dude.
Hello.
How are you?
All right.
Doing well.
Yeah.
You all right?
I like your necklace.
I made it special.
Yeah. So you enjoying it?
Yeah.
Back at camp, the challenge seems to have affected Dave more than anyone.
Dave, I think he was hit hardest by it all because he was expecting Rita and it was his younger son. I can't talk to them at the moment because it's just going to act as a trigger. Seeing John just made me realise how much I want to spend the rest of my life with him, and I've never felt like this before. It was just so lovely. I see a smiling face out on a log in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to see him in a couple of weeks. I know it's silly.
After 30 minutes together, Johnny and Ruth say goodbye.
Thanks for coming out.
Alright. No
I
bother?
hope the jet lag's not too bad.
Yeah.
Really good seeing you.
Yeah. You too. Alright, get back to your hut.
Back in the hut, Dave is still subdued.
I thought off camera we could have had 5 minutes with him. You know, just we couldn't even touch him. You know, or even speak to him. You know, it was only because I shouted when he was on the boat. But I thought it was a bit hard that night. But that's the rules, I suppose.
In contrast, Johnny couldn't be happier when he arrives back.
Are you walking on air?
Yeah. Sorry about screaming yes, but I just... Sorry mate, wasn't very thoughtful.
No. You go for that. You deserved it. You really did.
John sends all his love. I didn't tell him about your knee, I didn't want to worry, so...
Did you?
No, I didn't, so I was telling Ruth to tell.
Oh, right.
Just said to say the same.
Yes, of course.
You're missing them twins.
Oh, I am.
So I said that, so that'll be passed on this evening.
Oh, was that lovely?
Yeah, it's good,
Did you
yeah.
get to have a snog?
Nah,
Oh,
don't do that, man.
Oh, that'd have been the first thing I'd have had to do. It couldn't go to a nicer person, because Johnny is so lovely. If I had a son, I'd like him to be just like Johnny, or even John, but definitely like Johnny, because he's just so lovely. He really is.
You missed quite a happy boat journey back, as you'd imagine. Lots of laughs.
You alright?
Oh yeah, I'm fine, mate. Yeah, I was a bit shocked actually coming back.
Yeah.
I didn't find it too sad at all. I was more sad when Dave started blubbing at the end. That was a seriously cruel game, though, wasn't it? I'm really glad he won because he thoroughly deserved it, and he pipped me by 1 point. Bastard. And then he cheered in my ear to rub it in as well, definitely. So it was a double whammy.
Was it worth that half an hour? Was it good?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Just to see everything's alright, just to... But everybody said everybody's alright, everyone's families are alright and stuff. Good. I was going round, I was trying to think, once I find her, they're just going to sit and look at her for a minute, or they just run on and try and hopefully come first and win it. So that's what I decided to do. So I'm glad I did. But if I hadn't won it, I'd be gutted. So I know how the rest must be feeling.
I would love to win immunity just once.
Yeah. You won that reward, though.
I did win immunity.
Yeah, you won a very good reward. Holding your breath, that's excellent.
Bridget cannot win immunity next time. She cannot.
For the sake of
I think I would almost rather die.
Coming up, Bridget's making dinner and breaking friendships.
If I was brutally honest, it'd be fair to say that, Bridget's getting in everyone's tits at the minute.
It's Tribal Council Day, and with rations dwindling, the tribe decides to make a concerted effort to catch the caiman.
If we put chicken giblets here,
Can you smell the blood?
it'll smell it.
I can hear it laughing inside there.
I don't think it's going to come out while we're all here anyway.
While the caiman remains at large, the tribe has one source of protein in captivity, the last of the 3 chickens.
We've still got Stevie left. She's nicknamed Stevie after Steve McQueen in The Great Escape because she has escaped twice now. But she keeps coming back, so the next time she comes out, it'll be for the head to be wrung. There you go. Over. Finished.
I think that everybody who's got to this point in the game probably deserves to be here. I know that there's been perhaps more tensions with Bridget in the last few days. Bridget is very different from the rest of us in that the more she sees us kind of relaxing, the more she tries to do around the camp. But it tends to perhaps wind the others up a little bit more. Given the opportunity, I would love to do some of the things. I mean, I would love to try and kill a chicken. However, that is taken away from us so much that I think it's starting to get people's backs up a little bit.
If I was brutally honest, it'd be fair to say that, Bridget's getting in everyone's tits at the minute, primarily because of the fact that her stories have no real point to them, and or end, for that matter. So, nice girl that she is, sometimes there's just so much rambling about sheep you can take in one evening, and you want to just stake yourself in with the alligator, hope that he comes out and takes you.
With Tribal Council only hours away, everyone's thoughts turn to tonight's vote.
If I was voting for the heart, I'd definitely vote for Bridget, and then Susanna, and then Dave, and then John. Bridget keeps on trying to go around and reassure herself that we're sticking to the same plan. I think she's quite arrogant. I think she's very obsessed with her self-importance, and Dave's just a much nicer bloke.
Today I've been trying to concentrate on the girls' reason to vote. Is I think now the tribal thing should be waved aside. It's now we're a different tribe, we're one tribe, and their own personal tactics should come into it.
So Dave makes a last-ditch attempt to persuade Susanna and Bridget to take the chance to vote off John.
You're still going to vote as a tribe tonight?
I think so. You decided which way you're going to be?
I don't know what to do. Whether it'd be worth going for the lads or not. Because you've got a few votes against you now, haven't you?
I've got 5. I've got as many. I've got more than anyone.
And you've got Bridget?
You've got 4, haven't you?
Like next tribal council after this one, there'd be one of you two, I would say, wouldn't it?
Unless one of us won immunity.
Unless you win immunity. Yeah.
It's horrible.
It is, isn't it? Because you're in a no-win situation.
Unless you suddenly chuck in everything you've kind of promised and believed in all along, and you start to completely change. I would stand a much better chance of winning immunity against Bridget and Dave, almost certainly.
Hope Susanna doesn't do anything rash tonight. Sure she won't do.
No, I don't think so, no.
I must admit tonight I feel a bit jittery. I don't know if it's because of lack of food or anything, but perhaps I worry about Susanna being close to Bridget, spending a lot of time with her. It would certainly make more sense, you know, more pragmatic for them to vote me off rather than Dave.
I don't want to compromise myself so utterly that I completely change your answers.
No.
Although, strictly speaking, if I really wanted to go out and win the £1 million, getting Bridget and Dave on my side, and then being able to beat them, immunity challenge after immunity challenge would possibly be worth my while.
It comes down to just knowing looks at this stage, rather than, you know, no one has to. You see a lot of that, you know. No one really kind of has to express themselves.
The tribe's late chicken lunch uses up the last meat they have, making John even more determined to catch the caiman.
The alligator just came out of its lair a little bit, which is quite reassuring to see that it actually exists, unlike the Loch Ness Monster and Brigadoon, which I thought it was in the same category as. But I feel a bit more confident now. I think I might catch it. Almost caught the alligator. Then I walked around the side and it just went whoosh. You get a bit paranoid on Tribal Council Day, especially when you see people talking and they stop whenever you walk over to them. So I certainly pack all my stuff every Tribal Council. Just treat every day as if it's your last here, really.
Well, good evening to the Columbus Five and to Drew, who joins Alistair and Helen on the jury. 3 more of you will be joining that jury, and the 7th vote will come from the public, who may have a chance to influence a small matter of £1 million. I think the last 2 days have been no less dramatic than any in the previous month. John, did it ever occur to you to sacrifice the challenge yesterday to have a few moments talking?
It occurred to me, but unfortunately it occurred to me a little bit too late, because I would have gladly given up immunity and the chance of immunity just for a few minutes of talking to my girlfriend and even to touch her. And I personally found yesterday the hardest day so far.
Dave, you didn't allow yourself eye contact with Robert when you picked up the photograph.
Well, to be truthful, I couldn't see him for crying. To actually know my son was there was unbelievable. I could see him approach when I was approaching him, and I just couldn't hold back the tears. And not to hold him or even say hello was very, very hard.
Let's go back a further day, Johnny, to those extraordinary moments in the Hands Up reward challenge and Dave's obvious desire. Did it ever occur to you to relinquish your control and bow to Dave's desire?
Yeah, we did very much so. We actually mentioned that to each other, but at that time the medics had already approached Dave and I knew the competition was over for him. But up until that moment, the last couple of minutes when he really seemed to deteriorate quite quickly, myself and John did speak about doing that. I was really amazed with Dave's determination. Even the medic was trying to get his hands down, he still refused, and I just thought it was incredible.
Dave, what drove you so hard there?
Full-heartedness, I think. I didn't realise the heat would hit me that quick. I was so confused. I thought it was immunity I was after. And there's a little thing in the back of my mind telling me all the time to keep my hands up, keep my hands up. And again, I just forgot about the conditions that were prevailing. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the two medics, Andy and Mark, and sort me out.
Bridget, do you think it's inevitable after a month tensions will develop between you?
I would have expected tensions to have developed by now. I'd expected that within the first week of coming here. It's now 4 weeks on, and there are still no tension between any of us. And I find that very surprising that with all of us have got on so very well.
Well, here it is. It's time to vote tonight. Bridget, if you go first.
Dave, if I was voting for personality, you'd certainly not be the person I'm voting for tonight. But I'm voting as part of my old tribe, and I hope you understand.
I have the votes, and I'll count them. Dave. Bridget. Dave. Dave. And Dave. 1 vote for Bridget and 4 for Dave. Dave, if you'll grab your belongings and your torch. For 29 days, that flame has represented your life here, Dave. But the tribe has spoken. Please extinguish the flame. Congratulations, Columbus tribe, or should I say, Old South Island. You move forward as one, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Please return to camp. Over on ITV2 now, more from the islands in Survivor Raw. Later tonight on ITV1, moments after he was voted off Columbus tribe, Dave has the last word.
Sometimes I've thought to myself, what the hell am I doing here?
Next time on Survivor, the survivors are shocked to see how they've changed since arriving, and a crucial immunity challenge brings even more confusion, exhaustion, and frustration.
Survivor The Last Word is after the premiership at 11:45.